Guys, it's getting really, really bad. April and May were seemingly nothing when it comes to coronavirus compared to what it is we are increasingly facing right now. We are seeing new coronavirus records almost daily. And these are not the types of records you want to be setting. Remember that for the Trump administration, we beat this thing in May. It's over. I mean, we're months past victory. Now, it's true that other countries did almost beat this thing. They are reopening safely. They've crushed their curve, and life is looking more and more normal. And it's true that parts of the U.S. are reopened almost completely, but those parts of the U.S. are seeing some of the worst outbreaks in the world. If Florida or Arizona were countries alone, they would be some of the worst countries in the world to be in from the standpoint of coronavirus. So let's just look at the data. Florida yesterday set the all-time high ever for any single day new cases in any of the 50 U.S. states. Florida had more than 15,000 new cases yesterday. This is way worse. This is thousands more than even New York had at the worst point in its outbreak. It's making global headlines how bad things are in Florida. I was watching Argentinian news this morning, and they said, breaking news, the United States state of Florida set a record we've never seen anywhere. Meanwhile, on Friday in the U.S., again, I've been saying this type of thing for months because it keeps getting worse. The U.S. set the single day record for cases with almost 72,000 cases in one day. There are now a record estimated 1.75 million active cases in the United States, almost 3.5 million cumulative cases. And then the deaths. We were hoping, I was cautiously optimistic that something different would happen, that even though the cases started spiking around June 19, that deaths would not spike 20 days later. But sadly, right on cue, 20 days after the cases spiked, we saw last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, deaths back up to the 750 to 1,000 per day range. And it is believed that those deaths are tied to the cases from around June 20 to 25. Early July was way worse in terms of cases. And if indeed we're going to see the same pattern, next week is going to be very, very ugly. So there are about three layers of disappointing, it's not really the word, three layers of dismay here when it comes to what's going on. First, we know the administration failed. They don't seem to care. Trump is golfing. He's not talking to Fauci. I'll tell you about that later. That's number one. We know it could have gone better because just about every other country did better. The proof is there. There's nothing unique about they'll say, well, these other countries are less free than the United States. No, they're more smart. South Korea ranks higher on the democracy index than the United States. When you hear the only reason South Korea did what they did is because they're not free the way we are. According to the democracy index, South Korea is more free than the United States. Second, we are in this situation partially because of the administration. Yeah, that's true. But partially we're in the situation we are because of governors and the people in the states. Now, that's on both sides. What I mean by that is Trump failed. That's the starting point. In some states, governors and people took things seriously. I'm not, some people say I brag about Massachusetts. I'm privileged to live in a wealthy state like Massachusetts. Listen, I just know what's going on here. You see masks everywhere. Schools are closed. Almost all summer camps, other than some very specific, physically distant camps that are possible. Utmost caution here. And in fact, people are getting worried that we're doing too much by letting restaurants do indoor dining. I don't think we should. In other states, people who think masks and vaccines are the problem are sort of joining forces with ignorant governors to let the situation run rampant. So that's horrifying. That's the second piece, which is that as Trump failing aside, you have a dramatically different population in different parts of the country and different governors who have handled this very differently. And you can see it in the case numbers. And then number three, of course, is that we've done so little, but we're pretending like it was just beyond our control. That's a very disturbing attitude. You just look at other countries. We chose to handle this differently than other countries. Some states did it one way. Some states did it another way. But we're almost saying we're all out of ideas, except we've done almost nothing. And they're looking at reopening Disney World when Florida got 15,000 new cases in a single day. It's truly vile. And all we can do is, one of the tough things for me has been not relinquishing, I never had control, but recognizing that I just lack the control to really affect this at the big picture. All I can do is, okay, I've chosen to live in a state that I predicted would handle things well, generally speaking. And I'm lucky in that sense. And I live in Massachusetts. I can wear my mask. I can be safe. I can tell people what I think makes sense to do. I can't control everything. I can't control the vaccines. And that's a really tough thing right now for people who see how we've gone wrong from day one. Tomorrow night, please join the David Pakman Show, third David Pakman Show chess tournament, 8 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, July 14. I will be playing. Everybody can play. Register for free at davidpakman.com/chess. I will also live stream my participation. And secondly, tomorrow, same day, Tuesday, July 14, we will be doing a big one-day membership special. We're trying to dig out of a 300-member hole that happened on July 4th when a bunch of 2019 members had to cancel because of the virus. So we're going to try to dig out of that tomorrow with a one-day membership special. If you want to be notified about it, very easy. Just go to davidpakman.com and get on my newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter. You'll see where to type in your email address on the right side of the website. Tomorrow, you'll get a beautiful email from me telling you how to take advantage of this discount. In the meantime, tell me how things are looking in your state. I'm on Twitter at dpakman.